the news broke like a thunderclap on a clear day. C919 completes first international commercial flight powered by domestic engine, screamed a banner on a 24-hour news channel. Beijing's wings. China declares aviation independence, read another headline. The world of aviation, long dominated by Boeing and Airbus, was suddenly and irrevocably altered. The date, December 10, 2025, would be remembered as the day a new giant took flight. Onlookers at Singapore's Changi Airport watched in awe as the sleek single-aisle jet, emblazoned with a major Southeast Asian Airlines livery, taxied to its gate. This was the Comac C919, but not with the usual Western engines. Instead, it hummed with the confident roar of the Chinese-made CJ1000A. The successful flight was a declaration. China would no longer be dependent on the West for the technology that powers modern flight. Stock markets in Seattle and Toulouse saw aerospace shares dip sharply. Analysts scrambled to revise their long-term forecasts. For years, the C919 was seen as a respectable but dependent project, always needing Western engines. That assumption was now shattered. The successful integration and commercial deployment of a homegrown, high-bypass turbofan engine was a feat few believed China could achieve so quickly. The Dragon had not just learned to fly, it had grown its own wings and heart. Across China, the news was met with a surge of national pride. State media broadcasted triumphant montages, portraying the C919's flight as the culmination of a long march toward technological sovereignty. For the Chinese people, it was more than just an engineering achievement. It was a message that their country could not be held back. The C919 was no longer just an alternative to a Boeing 737 or an Airbus A320. It was a symbol of a new era, one where the rules of global industry were about to be rewritten. To understand this breakthrough, we must look back. The story begins not in a Chinese factory but in Washington, D.C. A few years ago, the U.S. government, citing national security concerns, tightened export restrictions. The goal slowed China's rapid technological ascent, especially in aerospace. The CFM LEAP-1C engine powering the initial C919 models was placed under intense scrutiny. The threat of a full export ban loomed large. The logic seemed sound. Without advanced jet engines, China's C919 would be grounded. The restrictions were intended as a chokehold, keeping China's aviation industry dependent. But this move fundamentally misjudged Beijing's reaction. Instead of crippling the C919 program, the restrictions lit a fire under it. The threat of being cut off from Western technology was seen as a national humiliation. The engine sanctions became a rallying cry, transforming the C919 from a commercial project into a national crusade. The policy backfired spectacularly. What was meant to be a brake pedal became an accelerator. The quest for a domestic jet engine became an urgent, existential mission. The American strategy, designed to contain, had instead unleashed a powerful wave of innovation. In response to Western pressure, China mobilized. The full force of the state was directed toward a single goal: building a world-class jet engine in record time. This was not just a corporate project for AECC, it became a national mission. China launched a nationwide talent drive, recruiting top engineers and enticing experienced professionals abroad to return home. The project became a magnet for patriotic talent, with thousands of young engineers eager to make history. National labs, universities, and state-owned enterprises worked in concert, tackling immense challenges from advanced alloys to digital engine controls. Bureaucratic hurdles were swept aside, and funding flowed rapidly, enabling fast prototyping and testing. This massive, coordinated push was a spectacle of national will, reminiscent of the space race. The world was witnessing the birth of a new aerospace power, forged in the crucible of state-directed determination. The CJ1000A engine is the tangible result of China's monumental effort. Developing a high-bypass turbofan engine is one of the world's toughest engineering challenges. For decades, this technology was the exclusive domain of a handful of Western companies. China's success in developing the CJ1000A signaled its entry into this elite club. Technical milestones were achieved with breathtaking speed, prototypes assembled years ahead of schedule. Chinese material scientists perfected the single-crystal turbine blade, a closely guarded Western secret. Another breakthrough, developing a sophisticated FADEC, the engine's digital brain. While the first-generation CJ1000A may not yet match the latest LEAP engines, its existence breaks China's strategic dependency. The engine provides a platform for continuous improvement. For China, the CJ1000A is not just machinery, it is the heart of its aviation dream. For nearly half a century, the global market for large commercial aircraft was a duopoly: Boeing and Airbus. The arrival of the C919, now with its own viable engine, shatters this equilibrium. Comac has emerged as a genuine third competitor, backed by the world's second-largest economy. Chinese airlines, many state-owned, are now under immense pressure and patriotic incentive to buy Chinese. Massive orders for the C919 have already been placed, diverting billions from Boeing and Airbus. The C919's appeal extends beyond China, offering developing nations a new choice bundled with financing and infrastructure support. For many, the C919 is becoming a tool of China's foreign policy and a symbol of South-South cooperation. COMAC competes not just on technology and price, but with state financing and geopolitical influence. The era of the comfortable duopoly is officially over. The rise of the C919 has sent shockwaves through the Western aerospace industry. The loss of Chinese orders is a significant blow to Boeing and Airbus, threatening high-paying jobs and entire communities. Politically, the C919's success is viewed as a direct challenge to Western technological leadership. The sanctions, intended to preserve this advantage, have instead accelerated its erosion. Western suppliers now face the threat of being designed out of the C919 platform altogether. The narrative of Western technological supremacy is being questioned. The C919's breakthrough is evidence that the global balance of power is shifting from west to east. The West is being forced to confront a new and formidable competitor who plays by different rules. The emergence of a third major aircraft manufacturer alters the global regulatory landscape. For decades, aviation safety was anchored by the FAA and EASA. Now China's SAASI is positioning itself as a third, co-equal authority. This raises the specter of competing regulatory blocks and fragmented standards. Airlines could face the costly challenge of operating fleets that meet different sets of standards. The push for technological sovereignty could lead to a decoupling of global supply chains. Companies may be forced to create parallel supply chains, driving up costs for everyone. Ultimately, this fragmentation poses a risk to the safety and efficiency of global aviation. Ensuring that safety remains a non-political priority will be the greatest challenge of all. To truly grasp the magnitude of this shift, listen to the voices on the ground. Senior aviation analyst in London. For years we modeled a duopoly. We saw the C919 as a peripheral risk. We were wrong. Now every financial model is being redrawn. We are in uncharted territory. Young Chinese aerospace engineer. My parents built bridges and railways. My generation is building the planes that will fly over them. When I see the CJ1000A, I see the spirit of our nation. The West thought they could stop us by withholding technology. They gave us the motivation to create our own. U.S. policymaker. Our restrictions were meant to be a scalpel, but they acted like a shot of adrenaline to China's industry. Now we're facing a competitor we inadvertently helped create. We have to rethink our approach. We can't just play defense anymore. CEO of a mid-sized airline in a developing nation. For years my choice was Boeing or Airbus. Now there is a third door to knock on. COMAC comes with a partnership offer. Financing, training, infrastructure support. The C919 seat mile cost might be a bit higher, but the overall package is compelling. It gives us leverage. It gives us options. For the first time we feel like we are in the driver's seat. The world of aviation will never be the same. The successful flight of the domestically powered C919 marks the end of one era and the beginning of another. The future of aviation is now a contested space, with multiple possible futures. One path leads to intensified rivalry and protectionist blocks, risking a fragmented and less safe global system. Another path points toward new forms of collaboration, especially on existential challenges like climate change. The immense cost of developing sustainable aviation may force rivals to become partners. A hybrid model could emerge. Fierce competition in established technologies, cautious collaboration on next-generation challenges. The future of flight will be defined by this uneasy partnership. The C919 is only the beginning. China's ambitions extend to wide-body jets and even larger engines. The story of the C919 is a reminder that the global order is not static. Whether this contest leads to conflict, collaboration, or a new paradigm will define the future of flight for the 21st century.